Hello. It is Monday, the 22nd of January 2024. And I said on my last video I was going to talk a little bit about my past. And I am. But it also relates to what's happening today, in the present. Back when I was growing up, when I was 9 to, let's say 15, video games only didn't exist in the home. They only existed in video parlours, Space Invader parlours. And kids used to get whatever money they could from their parents to go down and play video games. You had to go out into the world to go and play video games with your friends, because you didn't want to go by yourself. You go out and interact with your friends. And that's all well and fine. But you didn't just play video games, you went out and had fun in the world with your friends. That doesn't happen much these days with the young people of today. They're in the home, they play their video games on their own TV in their own room, and only talk to their friends. Well, if you can call someone else on the other side of the planet that you're playing against a friend. But very seldom do they interact with their friends in a physical way outside of their home. It's always online while they're playing their video games. It's a big chunk of their childhood memories of they're not enjoying themselves. They're not going out enjoying the world. They're not interacting with other people. They're not working on their social skills, necessary social skills that they're going to need to actually go out and meet someone special, learn how to actually talk to people face to face. And so that's what we used to do back in the day. Used to raid my dad's pockets in their clothes cupboard to see if he had any loose change, and then shot off to the Space Invader parlour. My younger sister told me about that. She found out. Dad kept change in his pockets back then. She led me astray. Corrupted me, she did. And we used to go riding our bikes into town. My friend, the Boke, we called him, the Boke. B-O-K-E. His name was Barry, but we called him the Boke. We all had nicknames. It was Tay-Tay, Galloway, and I was Pecker, as in Woody Woodpecker. They called me Pecker. We used to ride our bikes into town, but the Boke, he had his own bike that he made, and he used to pull a wheelie for kilometres. You know, he was amazing. He had that thing, it was so well balanced. He was the king of the wheelie. And yeah, we used to ride around. We used to go to Christchurch City, into the cathedral, into the auditorium, the big auditorium there. You know, and to the doghouse, it was called. The doghouse was the main Space Invader parlour in Christchurch. Anyone used to go. And there was a burger bar right next to it. Of course, we used to get down at dinner. And our mum and dads back then weren't hanging over your head all the time about where you are and what you're doing. Now parents want to install trackers on you. They use their phone to find out where you are. We never used to have cell phones back then. Mum and Dad used to trust that we came home by dinner time, which we did. And if we brought trouble home with us, they dealt with it. And the only way back then parents were allowed to. But in Christchurch, we had a lot of fun. We earned some money going to these pickerberry places, where you go along with a bucket, these orchards, and you pick black currants or berries and that, take them up to the weigh station, and they pay you money for how many you picked. But we used to put little stones in the bottom of the bucket to make them heavier, because they used to weigh them. The more it weighed, the more money you got. Yeah, that was a little dishonest. What else did I do down there? Went to Papanui High School. That was a good school. Had these big conker trees. But Kiwis don't know how to play conkers. Being a British kid, I knew all about conkers. So I taught the other kids about conkers, playing conkers. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Yeah, I got into trouble in that school for picking locks on people's lockers. I never used to steal anything out of the lockers. I used to like picking locks, practicing my lock picking skills. I was pretty good at it. My mate, he used to like stealing all the screws from the school desks. So when a student sat down, the bloody desk fell apart. Yeah, that was funny. Like kids do stupid things. But yeah, we used to have a lot of fun. I used to be good at sports back then. My friend Galloway, he was doing taekwondo, but I never became interested in martial arts back then. I wish I had. I wish I'd started with him. I wish he'd taken me to one of his classes, and I would have got started on my journey in the martial arts a lot earlier than I did. About 10 years earlier, actually. And I was pretty flexible back then too. I would have maintained that flexibility instead of having to work at it to get it back later on in life. Because you lose your flexibility as you get older. The more flexible you are, the less injury you have. And the higher you can kick somebody in the head. Yeah, that was a good time back then. My most freaky moment happened when I was about 13. I woke up in the middle of the street, naked. About, I don't know what time, it was the middle of the night. I was sleepwalking. Never done it before, never done it since, I don't think. Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the street, stark as it freaked me out. Ran back home, jumped back into bed. It was the cold that woke me up because it was winter at the time. And the cold, yeah, woke me up. Yeah, that was my most freaky moment in my youth back then. I was asleep in bed, and the whole street was up, out by their gate. Fire engines, ambulance, police, and woo, 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 going down our road. Everyone was up, except me. Because they were making a hell of a racket. Because I sleep like a dead man. Nothing wakes me up. Yeah. Mum found me, and she said she found me still in bed snoring away when everyone else was out of their beds. Yeah, it was funny when I had my first kid. Like I said, I sleep like a dead man, but those first few nights when you have your newborn sleeping in the room with you, you sleep like a bloody cat. The least little noise your little toddler makes, your little baby makes, yeah, it's funny. It's funny how that changes in those moments. Because every parent on their first night with their newborn baby at home lies awake, listening to baby breathe. And if it's too quiet, they get up and check it. Every parent does that. Every new parent has that moment, that first night, like that. And but because you're protecting your kid, you want to make sure they're okay. Basically, developing the skills as a good parent to looking after your kids. Unfortunately, a lot of those parents lose that when the kids get older and they start becoming belligerent, argumentative, truculent, basically little assholes. But that's them finding their own drive to live the life that they want to live. But it all comes down to respect. If your kids don't respect you, if they don't learn the line that you've laid down, or they've disregarded it, that's when the arguments start and the kid starts to pull away from you. You have to put those boundaries in place with the kids and maintain them. Inflexible boundaries, because if you move that boundary an inch, they will take a mile. Yeah, and they'll see how far they can push you again, because it's no longer where they thought it was. So stick with the boundary, people. They'll respect you for it. Your kids will respect you, and they'll respect the boundary. It's there to keep them safe from their own inexperience in life, their own stupidity. It keeps them safe. They don't realise that, they don't see that, not until they're older. So I don't feel bad about doing that. Argue with the kids. It's not a good thing. With those boundaries in place, there is no argument. Because they know it's a waste of time to argue. Because you're not going to get anywhere. You've placed those boundaries and they're unshaken. Get the respect of your kids, and they'll be a lot more stable, a lot safer, and a lot more respectful for your authority over them. I used to tell my kids twice at the max before, and if they still didn't listen, that's when I pinched them. Not punched them, pinched them. Because out here you got an anti-smacking law. And I went, okay, I'm not going to smack them. I'm going to pinch them. The pain is a lot more intense, it doesn't do any damage. There's no red mark left. In fact, the less skin you get, the better. So if they didn't do what I asked them to do after the second time, pinch them straight away. Jack and Zoe, if you're listening to this, one day you will, and you will have your own kids. Do what I did to you. I love you both. It's never changed. It's never gonna. What I had to do to keep you safe, which means disciplining you. Unfortunately, the law is stupid. Made a stupid decision in banning smacking. Maybe they'll repeal it later on by the time you guys have kids. But I'd say keep the pinch in place. It is more effective, as you well know. You tried to be defiant, I just pinched you harder until you did what you were told to keep yourself safe from your own stupidity and ignorance. So don't hate me for that. My love for you made me do that. Oh well. What else happened in my youth? I went to the dump with my friends one day. We found a whole pallet of 7-Up. It's from the airport. For some reason they threw it all away. Nothing wrong with it. Cans and cans and cans of 7-Up. And we spent a good hour shaking the shit out of these cans and throwing them against this big log, this tree that was falling over, and watching them explode. And we took home a lot of cans to drink for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with them. I don't know why they threw them out. If I'd have been a more enterprising young man, I would have kept going back to the dump and getting every can I possibly could, and then flogging them off on the roadside for 50 cents each. You know? Making a bit of money that way. But money wasn't important to me back then. Never placed a high importance on money. Even now. Yeah, but if I'd thought of it, I would have done that. I would have had more money for Space Invaders, wouldn't I? But like my kids are, and I was young and ignorant about the ways of finances and money and the importance of it. But that was a good day. We also went scrumping, me and my mates. Biggest apples I've ever seen, man. Really big green apples. And like stupid kids, we were throwing them up in the air and playing bombs. You know, if I came down and hit you on the head, well, it was bad luck. We were just throwing these apples up in the air. And I took home so many apples and I ate them. And I got sick. I felt queasy. I ate so many green apples. Man. But that's the only colour I eat. I don't like red apples. I like the green ones. And I don't, funnily enough, I don't eat the skin. I always peel my apples. Yeah, the skin gets in between your teeth and it's hard to hook out. You chew the skin forever before you can swallow it now. I don't bother with it. Not funny with fruit. My missus thinks I'm funny with fruit. Like I don't eat the skin of an apple. I can eat a banana cake, but I can't eat a banana straight, you know, peel it and eat it, because it gives me bad indigestion, acid reflux. But I can eat it in a banana cake. An orange, if I peel an orange and eat it, it makes my throat swell up. But if I squeeze it into a glass and then drink it, I'm fine. She says I'm weird. She's probably right. Oh well. I'm going to get on with my day. It's going to be a wet one, but I think it's going to be a quick one, so that's all good. That's it from me. Speak about more of my past later on. And I will catch you on the next one.